Okay, now we've got 3 down, 3 to go. So this one's going from atoms to moles. So we start off with what we know, 1.56 times 10 to the 7th atoms. And we always have to put down what they are of, because if we don't, later on that'll become an issue. 2 moles of lithium. So you can see I'm not going to use molar mass here because atoms relate to moles. So atoms of lithium to moles of lithium. And again, setting up my units first before I set up my numbers. For every mole, there's the Avogadro's number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, 23. And using our calculator correctly, and again, I'll show you how to use it when we get back to class, 2.6 times 10 to the negative 11th. That means it's a very, very small number, moles of lithium. Next example. So this is going to be the longest example here. So 10.9 grams of that's tungsten. And we want to know how many atoms of tungsten that will be. So whatever unit's on top goes on the bottom. And grams are only related to moles for us. Moles are not atoms, so we need another conversion factor. So moles of tungsten, but we can relate that to atoms of tungsten, which is what we're trying to find. I go back and put in my numbers. For every mole here, I use Avogadro's number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And according to my periodic table, for every mole, we have 183.84 grams for tungsten. So I multiply across the top, then divide by the bottom, and I get quite a bit of atoms times 10 to the 22nd. A big, big number, but less than a mole. Less than a mole. Last example, going from atoms to grams. Atoms of lithium. It doesn't matter what element it is, by the way. At least not for the number of atoms, because they're all equal. So, atoms of lithium to moles, come on, moles of lithium, and moles are not grams, so we need to keep going. Moles of lithium to grams of lithium. And according to our periodic table, that's 6.94 grams for every 1 mole. And like I said, for every 1 mole, you get Avogadro's number. And so when we multiply that all across and divide, I get a pretty big amount of grams. 978 grams of lithium. So you can see a lot of this is pretty much the same setup, same use. We're going to use that through the whole unit. So get used to it and be sure to write everything out. Last bit for our joke. What do you call a mole of moles digging a mole of holes? And that's a mole of molasses. Be sure to answer the final question and come in with any questions you might have. We'll be doing lots of practice, so see you soon. Bye-bye.